imitation, repetition, and interaction. Today we're going to talk about the number one technique to learn English language fast and effective. Welcome to the Roland Show. How do I learn English fast and talk like a native speaker in less than 6 months? If you haven't seen my previous videos, I'm originally from the Philippines and I completed my education in the UK as an international scholar, where I completed business administration with distinctions, and I did journalism and linguistics, and I also got accepted to do BA English in Berlin, Germany as an Erasmus scholar. And I have been teaching English language for kids, teens, and professionals for 5 years now. So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced learner of English and who want to learn English language fast and talk like a native speaker, this video is absolutely for you. So if you're excited, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and we'll dive in all the tactics. It's no brainer that you have to have a lot of language inputs, or in linguistics, it is called language acquisition. So basically, the more you have language inputs, the more you are exposed to English language, the more you're able to interact with the native speakers. Now, the number one technique that I have used to learn English language fast, effectively, is using the imitation technique. By definition, when you imitate someone, you are copying the person's speech or mannerisms. Do you know that imitation speeds up learning? According to an American psychologist, Andrew Miltzoff, in 1970, that imitation accelerates learning and multiplies learning opportunities. This is also further explained by the University of Manchester in England and Holland's Radboud University in 2010, that by imitating the person you are talking to helps your speech comprehension. Fun fact, I've learned American English for a very long time until I went to the UK. My English exposure or inputs were different, so my speech perception at the time were also different amongst the other students in the room. Plus, my college friend who sat next to me, who was from Scotland and has a very thick Scottish accent, so you can imagine what it was like for me as well. I literally had to translate and think about what to say in my native languages, which is Cebuano and Tagalog, before I say it in English. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit difficult at the beginning, but it was also fun because I gained a lot of friends throughout the years from all over the world, as I'm able to talk more confidently now in English without having to translate it in my head. So what about you? Do you still need to think in your native languages before you say it in English? If you do, say yes in the comment section below. So how I shifted my mind from being Americanized to being Britishized was that I got rid of my American English books. I literally had to stop reading American novels for a time, and I also stopped watching American films, and I shifted to watching and reading British English. That was my personal choice, by the way, as it made sense to me since I was in the UK, so I had to adapt to their style. This process is called language shift in linguistics. So basically, I had to shift my language from my native languages, which is Cebuano to Tagalog to American to British English. I literally fed my mental lexicon or words in my mind with British English all the time, so I could get used to the sound, spelling, and expressions. I read and listen to everything in British English. I read BBC Online. I read Tatler magazine. I read blogs. I read a lot of informative books. And if I'm not reading, I am watching YouTube videos or watching British English films every single day. And here's the important advice for you. Every time you encounter a new word or phrase, you must actively write them down and its meaning and learn how to use them in different situations or context. For example, if you are reading a book that you like and you encounter new words or phrases, do not just write new words or phrases without including their meaning, as you also need to understand the context you're reading about. Also, a word or phrase may have several meanings or may have literal or figurative meaning as well. That is why it's very important that you must include their meaning for you to understand the overall context of what you're reading about. So why this method is very important? This method is very important so you won't repeat the same vocabulary every time. And you will learn how to use them in different situation or context. Now, my question to you, do you also write down new words or phrases, including their meaning when you encounter them? Write yes in the comment section below. And I have a secret for you. Actually, Harry Potter was the one who helped me improve my English considerably. In fact, I have watched all the Harry Potter series many times. I literally studying how they say the words, the British words and expressions they used, how they dress, their style, how they act, and many more. I emulate them and I use the words and expressions I learned to interact with the native speakers. So why imitation technique is a very effective method. This will speed up your English language journey, as you will not only learn how to pronounce the words correctly, but also you will learn how to use the words and common expressions correctly as well and speak like a true native speaker. And for me, really, the more I talk like a native speaker, the more it is easy for me to form correct sentences or remember correct expressions. As you know, there are tons of resources that you can find online that would interest you. If you want to speed up your English learning process, talk to the natives, join the online groups, imitate how they talk, copy their accent or intonation, pay attention to the words and expressions they used, observe and imitate their hand gestures and facial expressions, and I promise you, you will not only sound like a true native speaker, you also think and act like one. You're watching now because English language interests you, so why not hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you will be notified every single week that I post a new video. So what about you? What do you do to improve your English every day? Let's talk about it in the comments.